Oh,
We're here to teach you 7 easy principles of Leave No Trace to keep the environment pristine and around for many generations to come.
The 7 principles of Leave No Trace are: plan ahead, camp on durable surfaces, dispose of your waste properly, minimize your campfire impacts, leave what you find, to respect the wildlife and respect your fellow visitor.
It's always a good idea to go through and research the area that you're about to visit. You want to check for many things, some of which are weather conditions that may occur during your visit, potential high impact times because you want to go during low impact, other hazards that may occur, and you may also want to find yourself a nice little map just so you can guide your way, so you can avoid leaving trail markers such as paint or putting sticks that don't belong there and whatnot. Just keep everything the way it's supposed to be and plan ahead. When searching for a campsite that's already been established, you want to make sure that you use nice, durable surfaces so that you don't mess up any vegetation that might be in the area. You want to be able to make sure that you stay on trails that are already established.
go.
So you always want to pack out what you just brought in. So I just packed in some food and this newspaper. It all goes back into my backpack, all that trash. And here we go. There. So you always want to dig a hole for where you poop about 200 feet away from any stream and any campsite. You want to dig your hole about 6 inches down and enough that it all goes in. Once you're done, you fill it in just to cover up what you just did. That way, nobody knows what you just did. You want to avoid building fire pits. Instead, use established fire rings, and to cook your food, you want to use just a stove. It's best just to leave the rocks from the fire ring where you found them. Just want to leave it where it lies.
When you find things in nature that you think might work as a structure, you really can't do it. You have to leave it as it lies. Some things that you want to consider when approaching wildlife is leave them alone. You never want to feed another animal, especially one that can think of you as food. You never want to approach or follow, and if there's little animals around, you definitely want to avoid that area because you never know where their parents might be, or if they're aggressive, or if they carry any disease. Just leave them alone.
Go.
Be respectful of your fellow visitor by turning down your music and turning down your voice.
Review. We want to plan ahead, which means doing some research on the area, which usually can be done on a computer. While on this computer, you want to look for areas of low impact, times of low impact, and you also want to find a possible map because it keeps everything a little easier to deal with once you know where you're going. You also want to make sure that you camp and travel on durable surfaces. This means finding trails that have already been made and campsites designed for that sole purpose of camping. You also want to remember, pack it in, pack it out. Whatever you take, you got to bring out with you. That includes all human waste, unless you want to dig a cat hole, which is 6 inches down and away from water and campsites. We can't forget, leave it where you found it. It was made that way, so let's try and keep it that way for the future generations to come. When it comes to fires, you always want to use established fire rings as to prevent new fire pits from forming, and you also want to carry a lightweight stove that makes everything easier on you because it's less weight and it's more convenient because you're using everything you brought in. And who doesn't want to get mauled by wildlife? Just leave them alone and they'll leave you alone. Observe from a distance and don't feed them. Use common sense with that. And while we're out camping, we want to keep all noises as quiet as possible. That includes your voice as well as any music or random noise that you may make. Just keep it down. Follow these and many others, and we will all be able to practice Leave No Trace.